Hello, and welcome to Storytime with Stadler, featuring your host, Stadler, and potentially a story. Today, today in light of yesterday's events and in light of yesterday's realization, today I'll be telling the story of how the beautiful Sarah Flan reunited me with my favourite hat of all time, and leading to the realization of why Sarah Flan is a queen. So I guess without any further ado, let's get into it. So it all starts on a fateful day. I want to say Christmas Day just for extra dramatics. So let's say Christmas Day. It's around Christmas time. Me and my good friend Hugh, we were in the village. We both received some fundage from our parents as a form of a present for Christmas. You know, our parents have said, you know, Merry Christmas, Hugh and Will. Go out and buy something nice for yourself. So we both had that, and we both instantly knew what was going to happen here, and that was we were going to go to the Whistler hat store. And the Whistler hat store is just it's the best. It's the best place. If there's any place like it on earth, I'm probably going to say Ollivander's Wand Shop. It's got a lot of Ollivander's Wand Shop about it, where you don't pick the hat picks you. So me and Hugh go in, we're rummaging through hats, and Hugh finds himself a very dashing black hat at first. Very cool. It's stiff, nice black hat. And I'm starting to kind of get worried. I'm a little bit worried. I'm like, fuck, Hugh's got a hat here. It's a real good hat. That's a fucking good hat. It suits him well. Shit, what if I don't find a hat? And then, long story short, Ollivander, who in this case was actually an Australian woman who was very into her hats, said, "Well, maybe you could look up here and look to this kind of hat," and bang, pointed out this beautiful, beautiful cream number. And so this Ollivander lady type figure ended up picking up this hat for me, and it's just a fucking solid hat. It's got great craftsmanship, beautiful off-white colour. She even hooked me up with with an eagle's feather, which she told me she plucked from the highest peak in the lands, and added it to my hat just for me. And it's just a good, solid hat. She told me, not to take good care of it, rough it up, get it a bit fucked. It can take it. It can take the damage. So yeah, I was very stoked with this hat. And because it was in the middle of winter, Christmas is, and I'll describe this as more of a summer hat. I didn't really get the opportunity to wear it, and that is until obviously summer came around, and a huge event was in the works. A huge event. It was somebody's birthday, and in celebration of their birthday, they wanted to do a trip. They wanted to just not only do a trip, but just really just have a good time. So what they did was they hired out three houseboats for all their friends, of which I was lucky enough to be on one of these houseboats. It was a road trip up north to a lake called Shoe Swap Lake, very, very large lake, where we would get on these houseboats for 3 days, and we'd just basically just sit on these houseboats, drive along the lake, park it up on some beaches, and basically just get fucking mortified on every single possible substance you could name. And we did exactly that, it was perfect because it was actually in the middle of a hectic heat wave. It was about 45 degrees plus during the whole 3 days that we were there. So it was just a really good solid time with my hat. It was just a really good experience with my hat. So as a result of this fun time, it kind of really had like a festival kind of vibe to it. You know, all your friends were there. There was DJs. You know, there was fucking good weather. There was water. It was just really festival vibes. And because of this, you know, what happens at every festival is you get way too excited on the first day. You get to where you're going and you're like, fuck yeah, this is sick. You know, I probably should, you know, try and simmer down a little bit. You know, it's only the first night. Simmer down, mate. Let's not get too silly. But what happens? You get too silly every single time. So that's exactly what happened. And then so the first day, moods are high. Our three houseboats meet up. We actually crashed two houseboats together in the first like 40 seconds of getting out on the water. So we quite abruptly met up, which was fun. There was nothing too bad in injury. There was a bit of carry on. There was a lot of carry on from everyone, but we got over it. We got over the crashing of the houseboat. No one sunk. It was all good. No one died. It was a good time. Then so I get chatting to Sarah Flan. Sarah Flan, what's going on, mate? How are you? What's happening? You know, yeah, blah blah blah. We're talking, and basically, you know, as these things happen, I go, you know what, Sarah Flan, I reckon this hat would look very good on you. Bang, place the hat on Sarah Flan. Lo and behold, she looks fucking great in it. She looks great in my hat. I'm like, you know what, Sarah Flan, that's fucking sick. But the only caveat is that Hugh and I kind of had an agreement that we wouldn't lose these hats because obviously they're so fucking cool. But unfortunately, you know, sometimes you just got to give away a hat. You know, we said we'll not let anyone else wear these hats. They're our hats. But you know, so for Sarah Flan, you just got to do it. You got to do it. Anyway, you know, I got Sarah Flan later in the night, and I'm like, look, Sarah Flan, I'm gonna need my hat back. It's nothing personal. I just really like this hat. I'm gonna need it back, and she gives it back to me because she's a good lady. And then you know, we spend the rest of the night just getting fucked up. You know, we get extremely wriggly, and I can't really, you know, obviously the details are a bit fuzzy, but long story short, I woke up the next day without my hat. The hat's fucking gone. So I wake up and I'm like, fuck, where's my hat gone? I'm not really too stressed about it because you know, we're on a boat, we're on a houseboat, like where could the hat have possibly gone? Unless I dropped it in the water, which I did actually do. On the first day I was chilling in my rubber ducky thing and my hat did fall off and kind of start sinking in the water. So I was like, fuck, maybe in my fucked up haze, maybe I jumped in the water with my hat on, now it's gone. So I spend the whole, you know, the second day of this boat party trip, I spend it all sitting on top of our boat while we're cruising through the pristine lakes of Canada. It's 45 degrees. I'm sitting up in a spa bath that's on the top deck of our 3-story houseboat with my friends. I'm tripping out on mushies. I'm fucking pissed. I'm baked. It's all going well. You know, on paper it's all going well, but I just couldn't fucking shake the feeling that I'm missing something, and that's my hat. Even in this perfect ideal scenario of how good life is right now, I'm stressing out because I don't know where my hat is. So you know, we're voyaging all day until we get to our destination for the night. We park up our boat on the rocky beach, and we get ready to go at it again. We get ready for another big night on the sauce. Everyone's really feeling it this time. Like everyone's fucking, yeah, we're on second night. Second night's always the biggest night. You know, if you're on for a 3-day festival, the second night's gotta be the biggest night. So everyone's fucking ready. We came, but I'm just a little bit like, oh, something's missing here. I'm missing a part of myself. Fuck, this is no good. And then so our you know, we're a party of 3 houseboats. The second houseboat rocks up. You know, all our friends on it, they had a massive houseboat. It was like fucking 7 stories or something stupid. We were like, sick, yeah, you guys have a good boat. You know, talking to them. And then our third houseboat party rocks up, and on top of it, like the goddamn Queen of England, sitting atop their spa bath, you know, on the top floor, the sun's shining down, is fucking Sarah Flan just coming in, almost like she's directing, almost like the houseboat was there only for her. She was there, she was just owning it. She was looking regal and just great. And sat atop her head was my beautiful hat. And she was coming in, doing the wave, and, you know, fuck me. When I'm tripping out on mushrooms and I'm starting to come up on the old MDMA, have I ever seen any better sight than Sarah Flan rocking up on her houseboat in the middle of summer wearing my goddamn hat that I thought was lost? Simply not. There is no better sight in the world. I cry out, Sarah Flan, I love you. You've got my hat. Thank you. I give her a big old hug. And I'm reunited, finally. Finally reunited with my hat. So, Sarah Flan, now as payment for what you've done for me, when you come down to the land of Australia to visit me, I'll give you the most beautiful, amazing hat that life could imagine, and that's about it. What's the moral of this story? I always like to finish on a moral and a lesson. This lesson, Sarah Flan's a queen. Don't lose your hat, and be more grateful for your friends who find stuff for you because you're too useless and you lose everything. Thank you, friends, and thank you, Sarah Flan, and thank you for watching, and good night.